So when men greet each other, they give each other a handshake, and when women greet each other, they give each other a kiss on the cheek, same as men greeting women.
So one of the big things that jumps out to a lot of the foreigners that would come visit us and stuff is the way that you greet someone. So like in America, a handshake is, generally like if you're meeting someone for the first time, you'll shake their hand. In Turkey, it's traditional for men to actually, they'll shake hands and then they'll kiss each other on each cheek. And that's perfectly normal for them to do. So that's a weird thing that always jumps out. And then men will also like walk arm in arm, and that's just, societal norms there. So they're a lot more physical than we are.
I don't know about laws, but societal rules, I mean, there's still obviously the thought of the woman works at or stays at home, and then the man works to earn a living wage for the family.
So because Turkey's it's a Muslim country, it's not appropriate for women to wear shorts. And even for men, like men don't wear shorts a whole lot. Like it's basically just pants unless you're swimming. So clothing's a lot more restrictive. Women don't drive as much. A lot of the stereotypical things that you see in Muslim countries pop up a little bit in Turkey.
Awesome. Can you elaborate a little more on like the dress? Do the women still wear like the burqa and like cover their face?
Women don't wear burqas just because it's become a lot more secularized, in modern day. But they'll still usually be wearing long sleeves even in the summers. A lot more concealed clothing. A lot of the Western fashion trends haven't really hit over there, and so it looks a little bit different to us.
Do you think they'll ever make it there?
Probably. The European influence is pretty big there, and so there's kind of a push for it, especially in younger generations. But as far as traditional Turks go, they dress very differently.
Interesting.
It's going to be the same as the United States, a suit and tie, dress shirt, and then for women, dresses, pantsuit, if you're about that.
Yeah, so like many South American countries, Peru is a very social, especially in the business realm, and so they're really casual. They would prefer meeting you face to face or doing a business deal over dinner or lunch, so it's more casual than formal.
So for men, it's just going to be, suit, tie, the basic, same thing as you have in Western society. Business professional, business casuals, pretty much the same. They tend to actually dress a lot better than us, so their business casual often will be like a tie or something like that, and that's again that European influence. They just, they appreciate fashion a lot more than we do. For women, dresses, it's the same.
Absolutely.
I think I would have to say just how much waste we use in America. We're a very wasteful culture with our food and resources and many things like that. Since Peru is still considered a developing country, especially in the more rural parts of the country, they use all of their resources without trying to waste anything.
So a big thing in English is the word peach, right? Common phrase. In Turkey, it's actually an offensive word, highly offensive word, and it's pronounced just like that. And so when we had foreigners come visit us for short terms in Turkey, we would tell them to avoid that word and use the Turkish equivalent, which is sheftali instead.
Awesome.
Americans generally are a lot louder, and our sense of time is a lot different. And so for instance, if you're at a restaurant in Turkey, oftentimes they will keep bringing you tea and they'll keep bringing you beverages, and that's just part of their culture. You stay and hang out, but when you ask for the check, it's usually a very casual, hey, can I get the check? Here in America, we show up to a place, we eat, we hang out a little bit, and then we leave. In Turkey, if you were to do that, that would actually be offensive, especially if it's a small restaurant or a small business. That's offensive to the owner because they want you to have that sense of community and that exists in all parts of their cultures. And so if you go to someone's house, you're expected to stay for 4 or 5 hours as opposed to, here in America, we've got busy schedules. And so I'll pop in, say hi to a friend for an hour or two, and that's normal. In Turkey, that'd be considered offensive. Yeah. Wow. And then in general, Americans are a lot louder in public than Turks are. Turks tend to be if they're talking just to themselves. They're not, really talking loud inside and stuff like that.